Initially, I was going to make a video about Black Swan, until... Now that I'm broke and have no wishes left, let's talk about Penacony. I finished the main story of 2.0 a week before the making of this video, and my first thoughts were, is this better than Belobog, or is this the best story in Honkai Star Rail? So I arrived at the conclusion, yes to both. This is indeed the best story so far in Honkai Star Rail, and even though I had very high expectations, I was prepared to be disappointed, especially after the Luofu arc, which was to me a mess pacing-wise. I'm really glad that Penacony was a breath of fresh air. It broke most of the predictable elements that other gacha stories have, creating a genuinely amazing plot and world building. And it's all because of one man, Xiaoji. Obviously, I'm embellishing and it's thanks to the Honkai Star Rail writing team, but holy shit, I didn't expect this story to pull me in as much as it did. And you'll be hearing a lot of me say, I didn't expect blank or I didn't think of blank. Because to sum up my thoughts in a couple of words, Penacony is all about tension and subversion. When we first started the quest, I didn't expect for the story to instantly make us think about the meaning behind our encounter with Acheron. Despite her brief appearance in the story trailer, turns out she has a much larger role to play in the overall story. Her riddles and questions make us think about the meaning behind her words and her intentions. Her apparent statement of our answer being inconsequential makes us think about her origins and backstory. I wouldn't believe for a dime that Acheron's identity is only a Galaxy Ranger, especially with her speaking in red text, which indicates something more. Speaking of the ominous red text, it seems that we know very little of it. I have two theories of this. One is that it's similar to Umineko, which means the red text signifies the truth and only the truth, or is it something else? Like when we choose the same exact dialogue but she gives different answers.
Have I come to the wrong room? This can't be. Before I said anything, I even made sure that I had the right room number. Do I have the wrong wing or even the wrong log? I'm sorry, this hotel is huge and the hallways all look the same. It's easy to get lost in here. I jest. Take it easy. This is indeed your room. I was just passing by. I'm trying to find my own room too, and I heard a commotion here. So I came to take a look. Luckily your door was open, or could have gotten dangerous. That man looked like he was up to no good.
Could it be that she's observing us in different timelines because apparently she can observe countless versions of us? There's way too many mysteries surrounding her and I honestly love it. Actually, for a moment, I love Acheron's character. Initially, I thought of her being the standard cold, quiet and calculating character, but it turns out she has a lot of personality. She's very talkative and she can be a bit silly at times.
Hiding? I don't think I'd be capable of that in front of a memo keeper. That's not what I meant. It's just a figure of speech.
Aside from her being so perfect and making me want to bark, oh my gosh, she's so hot. And as far as I'm concerned, she's one of the only characters who went out of their way to help us, like when she intervened when Aventurine was being a creep. Speaking of Aventurine, I love how they write his character.
So, my friends, don't let me down. Please, this way if you will.
Aventurine is so annoying, zesty, he's manipulative and cryptic. Also, his pursuit towards roping the Trailblazer for his mysterious intentions is giving major red flags.
So, my friend, the choice is yours now. You can accept my invitation and learn a truth. A truth potent enough to upend everything in Penacony. I need your help, so I'll wait. But not for long. See the truth first, then decide. You'll still have time.
And he's definitely not a good guy. But he's not necessarily a bad guy either. Aside from his shady character, he hasn't really done anything in the story besides moving the narrative forward. I also can't forget to mention there was also the time when he was humiliated, called out for being gay, and a sub by Sparkle.
How did you do it, little peacock? Did you strip yourself naked, apologize to him on your knees, and promise that the IPC would never harm Penacony?
So from a personal standpoint, I hate his ass, but narratively he's an amazing character. And while we're on the topic of characters, it's refreshing on how they write the characters in a more realistic sense. Case in point, Sparkle. I initially thought that she was a bit like Hu Tao, mischievous and cunning, more like a prankster nonetheless, considering her relations with the Aeon Aha. But I like how they made her so hostile and frontal in the story, especially towards the family and the IPC. There's also Sunday. I thought of him as a good dude, but near the end of the story, especially after his monologue, he's definitely have an underlying motive. And how about Robin? We knew very little of her besides her being a singer.
I never thought a cutie like yourself would be a fan of mine.
And her voice was a bit rough, assuming that something was amiss with the whole Charmony festival thing, but they decide to kill her anyway before telling us anything about her. We also can't forget about Black Swan. She's a hot and pretty character.
You're awake, lazy bug. Looks like you had a nice dream.
There's also her motives, which are unknown. She says that it's her wish to protect the Trailblazer to observe the memories, but I don't know. I can't trust her completely either. There's also Misha, a seemingly unimportant character, but I suspect he will play a major role in the story as well. Him seemingly being invisible and not recognized by any of their other characters is a bit sus. There's also the fact that he was the only one who could talk to Clocky other than the Trailblazer. He was also the one that guided us from the real dreamscape to the joyful dream world. And also the fact that in Russian, his name is short for Mikhail, and Mikhail seems to have a lot of presence in the real dreamscape. It's all a bit sus to me. I think that Misha is not a simple character at all. Maybe he might be akin to the janitor like in Control, where he himself is connected to the dream somehow. I don't know, I'm just spouting theories here. But then there's Firefly, the girl of the hour. I didn't expect to enjoy her character as much as I did. When I first found out about Firefly and her playing a major role in the story, I was a bit skeptical. Normally, I'm not the type of person who likes the goody two-shoes type of main side character, but Firefly is such an endearing character that I couldn't help to at least empathize with her. Her will to live a normal life despite her crippling illness and her drive to cure that illness.
Until the lines between your body and the entire world become blurry. You won't be able to tell reality from dreams because they have all been shattered. So how could I possibly resist it? I mean, can you imagine? I can actually free myself from this icy medical cabin in this dream. I can forget about all the doctor's advice. I can listen and see and touch and think and understand whatever I want with my body. So although this world isn't real, this experience is priceless. Just like this moment.
Her cherishing every moment she spends time with the Trailblazer, even to the fact of letting us use pretty much all of her life savings and make us guilty about it. I didn't expect to be attached to her so quickly and yet have her rot away from me in the blink of an eye. I admit, I was shocked, bewildered, flabbergasted when Firefly was turned into a donut in front of my eyes. It was too fast, too sudden, and seemingly with no meaning. I almost thought of it to bad writing, killing her off too fast, and then I realized it was the whole point. Her death was meant to be fast and abrupt, especially at the dialogues and options we got later after her demise. The way Acheron sends her parting words.
I have some unfinished business. May death be the end of your boundless dream, guiding you back to the waking world. Let's go.
The half-fading phone on the floor. Even the Trailblazer's internal monologue back at Firefly's secret base. It was all meant to pull at our heartstrings, and goddamn, they did it well. Heck, if they don't serve justice to Firefly, I might stride the path of apocalypse. A tinge of sourness wells from the depths of your heart, followed by a flame of anger, intense enough to reduce the strongest metal to ashes. So 2.0 was meant to be as a build-up. to introduce the characters and the world of Penacony. After all, narrative-wise, we're still at its infancy. The devs confirmed that the story will finish in 2.3, and since it's safe to assume 2.3 will be the epilogue, there's still 2 more patches for the climax of the story, and to answer all of its questions. We still don't know who exactly is the Watchmaker, who sends out the invitation letters, what is death and how did it appear, but what we do know is that there's something big brewing behind the scenes. We do know that every single character in Penacony has their own agendas and motivations, and this does include people like Black Swan and Acheron, who seemingly on the Trailblazer side. After all, everyone lies in Penacony. So this is the story of 2.0, the introduction of Penacony, a world made of dreams and lies.
Get ready. I'm good. Let's do this. 1, 2. Say cheese!
Hi, I'm Garo. One thing, I want to make this full time, so any amount of help through my Ko-Fi is greatly appreciated. And thank you for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. See ya!